This is BBC News. These are the latest headlines in the UK and around the world. The Prime Minister Boris Johnson says there will not be any new coronavirus restrictions in England before Christmas. It comes as the Chancellor Rishi Sunak announces a £1 billion grant for the struggling hospitality sector.
We've responded, I think, generously today. The grants that we've outlined, up to £6,000, are comparable to the grants that we provided for hospitality businesses when they were completely closed earlier this year.
But Scotland's First Minister announces tighter COVID rules, saying all outdoor events will be limited to just 500 people from Boxing Day.
This will, of course, make sports matches, including football, effectively spectator-free over this 3-week period, a situation similar to that in Wales from Boxing Day.
Further COVID restrictions are expected from the Cardiff Assembly as a minister calls for the UK government to restart the furlough scheme. Meanwhile, as Omicron spreads rapidly across America, President Biden prepares to ramp up the federal government's response. Hello to you and welcome if you're watching in the UK or around the world. Boris Johnson has confirmed there'll be no further COVID restrictions put in place before Christmas. He said there currently isn't enough evidence on the severity of the Omicron variant, while the hospitalisation rate and the impact of the booster rollout didn't justify tougher measures. However, the Prime Minister says the situation is finely balanced and remains difficult across the country. Infection rates are at an all-time high, and he did not rule out tighter restrictions after the festive period. More on that in a moment, but let's take a look at the rest of the day's other developments. And the Chancellor Rishi Sunak has announced a £1 billion fund to help businesses hit by the rise in COVID cases, including the leisure and hospitality sectors. It comes as the UK records the third highest number of daily cases in the pandemic since the start of mass testing. Nicola Sturgeon has announced fresh restrictions for Scotland that will come in from Boxing Day. Edinburgh's Hogmanay street party has been cancelled and football matches will be effectively spectator-free. While the Welsh Government has also banned spectators from sports events, with ministers warning more restrictions will be needed to keep the country safe. Around the globe, the US President Joe Biden will be outlining additional plans to tackle the spread of Omicron later today. New Zealand has pushed back plans to allow quarantine-free travel for residents returning from Australia. And the World Health Organization urges people to cancel some holiday plans as the Omicron variant spreads globally. More on all those stories in a moment, but first, let's talk to our political correspondent Ian Watson at Westminster. So Ian, no more restrictions before the 25th of December, so we can all rest easy up to Christmas Day, but what about beyond that?